There are over 1.2 billion cars licensed on the world's roads today. So perhaps it's unsurprising that some people think they can drive like this. But what might surprise them is that they are now being caught on camera.
It's all on camera, buddy. I don't give a shit.
With as many as 50 million people injured each year on our roads, the use of dashboard cameras or dash cams has experienced a meteoric rise. And incidents captured on these cameras, along with CCTV and mobile phone footage, are being passed to police to help detect dangerous drivers and convict crash-for-cash criminals. But more often than not, these cameras bear witness to the daily antics that unfold on our roads, with people posting their dramatic near misses online to become viral sensations. In this series, we'll uncover the hilarious, the hazardous, and the downright outrageous footage taken directly from streets across the globe. And we've tracked down the people who caught these moments on camera.
People don't necessarily understand the power that they have in their hands.
To get the story behind what happened.
It did not feel real.
And although you may see some pretty shocking stuff, not a single incident featured involves a reported fatality. We've handpicked hundreds of the most eye-popping events captured on camera. So prepare to meet the world's deadliest drivers. Head on. Coming up, we've got idiots in cars, idiots in trucks, and idiots in the making. All right, mate, mind your language. She's only little. She don't need to learn them words yet. But first, with so many terrible drivers out there on the roads, we've compiled an idiot's guide to driving. First up, reversing. It's a fairly straightforward manoeuvre, so let's get underway. What I'd like to do, mate, is reverse into the space next to that lovely silver car, please. There's definitely room for improvement. Okay, let's just try reversing slowly out of a parking space. Let's give that a go. Yeah, I think that's gonna have to be a fail. Maybe reversing just is a bit tricky. How about we try something different? What I'd like you to do now is just try and really concentrate. We're going to just try and pull out of this junction. You've got your indicator on, that's fantastic. We're going to go forward, so pop it into first gear, and off you go. Yep, go on. No, 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 no! Exactly what he said, mate. I could not have put it better myself. Totally agree. Yeah, probably need to get the army involved. It was that bad. This is suddenly looking a bit sinister. Can we leave now? Okay, I've got high hopes for you on this one. What I'd like you to do is just stop quite randomly at a dangerous point on this junction and then get out of the car and try and get back in without trapping your head in the car door. In your own time. That's it. No! No, you nearly did it. So close, but no cigar. Another fail. I'm not being harsh, we've just got to keep the standards high. Right, surely the next one, even an idiot could do this. All you need to do is put the handbrake on so the car doesn't roll all the way down the hill. I asked you to do one thing. And that's another fail, I'm afraid. Yep, one of the first lessons of driving is, when parking on a hill, always put your handbrake on. In fact, why don't you just put it on wherever you park? But don't worry, you're not the only one. Even the professionals get it wrong from time to time. Yep, this fella forgot his handbrake when he jumped out to secure his cargo. Oh, this really is the idiot's guide to driving, isn't it?
What a fucking knobhead, bro. What a fucking dickhead.
Completely agree, mate.
The handbrake makes sure your car doesn't roll away. In a high-stress situation, for example, an accident or you're quite cross, it is quite easy to forget to do the simplest of things and forget to put the handbrake on. What happens then is if you're on a slight hill, your car will go away quite quickly because they're quite heavy and, you know, physics means they do pick up speed at quite a rate. Even if you're a little bit cross, just always remember handbrake and neutral. Handbrake and neutral. It's nice and simple.
All right, Alex, stop going on about it. I think we've covered that, mate. So, as we can see, operating a vehicle is not easy for everybody, but some drivers struggle with challenges outside of their control. Security guard TJ Lewis from Ohio is one of them.
I was diagnosed at age 12 with epilepsy, and living with epilepsy is it's challenging. You've got many obstacles that the average person doesn't have to overcome. One of the biggest obstacles I've had was getting my driver's license. They want to make sure that you can, in fact, operate a motor vehicle safely without an episode occurring.
Thanks to regular medication, TJ was able to live a normal life with childhood sweetheart Rebecca. But when his drugs ran out and he decided not to replace them, TJ's life took a terrifying turn.
It was early morning, it was sunny, the driving conditions were perfect. I was actually on my way to getting a fuel pump put in my car. Yeah, we weren't going too far from home, probably about 5 miles. Leaving the house, I had just woke up, and this is usually when the seizure occurs. It's within the first couple hours of me waking up. And what happened was I had a lot of stress from the day before, from work, personal life and whatnot. I guess everything just kind of put me under so much stress that it triggered a seizure. That was me kind of losing consciousness without realizing I was losing consciousness. You'll see me kind of start to swerve first. I wasn't aware until I actually crossed over the yellow line that, you know, something was very terribly wrong. At first, I just thought, you know, I was feeling under the weather. That was when I started to, you know, go into more of a unconscious state, almost like I was falling asleep. I crossed the center line, smashed into a sign, and eventually hit a pole.
Oh my fucking God.
Once I finally came to and understood what had happened, I was absolutely terrified. I knew my girlfriend was okay because she was right there sitting next to me. I don't remember hitting the sign. I don't remember hitting the pole. I don't even remember them pulling me out of the car. The car was deemed a total loss. The hood was crunched in. There was damage to the front fender. We completely lost the bumper. I have no idea where the bumper went.
Being involved in a serious collision was the wake-up call TJ needed.
It's a terrifying feeling seeing how close I got to a fatal accident. I could have died that day. You know, my girlfriend could have died. I could have killed somebody that was coming towards me. You know, it really puts your life into perspective of how important it is to stay on my medicine. I feel very lucky of how things turned out.
It's vitally important that you are physically, mentally, emotionally prepared to get behind the wheel and to go out there and safely operate a vehicle. There are many, many people that take medication for a variety of reasons. Drugs can help you perform well and help you not perform well. So we really have to be attentive to what our medications do and use them properly.
It's hardly rocket science. Your physical and mental state while driving is key to your safety and the safety of others. Even feeling anxious or agitated when you're behind the wheel can raise the risk of having a collision by nearly 10 times. So even if you're late, it's important not to rush. Of course. Oh, is that the time? We better get cracking. Right, let's go. Right, just ignore it, keep moving. Oh, those white jeans were a mistake. Ooh, blimey, that was a bit of a tight squeeze, that one. Ooh. And speaking of tight, what's this? Ooh, that's really tight, that, isn't it? That's tighter than a sumo wrestler in a pair of skinny jeans. This guy's racing round that roundabout. Don't mind the other cars. All the buildings. Check out this biker. He's gonna get to work way earlier than everyone else. See you later, losers! But unless he works in A&E, I'd say he's gonna be a bit late for work. Very late for work indeed. Don't stop! Don't stop! Can't stop! And it's a pretty lucky escape for this impatient biker who got away with this by the skin of their teeth and the skin of their bum cheeks. I've really hurt my buttocks. So, as we've seen, being in a rush can create more problems than it solves. So even if you don't end up ruining your own day, you can still ruin somebody else's. This BMW driver is attempting an overtake that leaves our dashcam car with about as much room as someone sat next to an overeater on a budget airline.
Well, that was fucking scary.
The driver, unlike the car, doesn't flip out, and both participants give the most British reaction to a car crash I've ever seen.
I'm uninjured. Let me. Okay, no anger. Let's just take this calmly.
Yeah, don't worry about it, old chap. You know, you seem like a nice enough kind of guy, and no one got hurt, so let's have a game of cricket.
You know, I hear this so often that speed limits are designed to do one thing, to create an opportunity for law enforcement to ticket you and thus create revenue for the entity. Sure, it creates some revenue, but it's not money they want. The simple reality, I can tell you, the faster you go, the more at risk you are. Getting away with something, you're not getting away with anything. You're putting yourself at risk, your family, and other people next to you. For what? So you can arrive at your destination 3 minutes earlier? That doesn't make you a hero.
When a life-threatening collision occurs, very often the first people on the scene are your fellow road users, and more often than not, they're perfect strangers. But when strangers work together to save a life, it's not something they forget in a hurry, as Fred and Doug from New York know.
The incident happened on a Thursday afternoon on Route 17. We were going through a construction zone, and I saw a lot of dust. tractor trailer hauling stone came through and just started hitting cars. I noticed one car burst into flames, and I noticed a woman in the car. At that point, I ran up to the car. My first reaction was to open the door and let her out. As I pulled the door handle pulled off. And I could see the car starting to fill up with smoke. I went for the rear door handle and pulled that off. A few other people at that point showed up, and we were pulling on the door, trying to get it to open. I said to myself, I'm not gonna let this woman die in this car. Flames came around the rear quarter of the car and chased us away. And I turned around and there was a guy with a fire extinguisher. He went over, knocked the flames down. We went back in and the window had broken. We don't know how. And we reached in and pulled her through the window.
Luckily, Fred, an off-duty medical professional, was a few vehicles away.
I actually arrived just as they were pulling the lady out of the car, and I was able to perform a primary survey on her, make sure that she was doing okay. She was talking to me. Her immediate response was, my purse was still in the car. It's always a good thing when someone's talking, at least they have a clear airway at that point. So I knew that there were no obvious signs of trauma. She was moving. So I knew she was not, at that moment, critically endangered.
The woman has since made a full recovery, and an investigation was launched to find out what went wrong.
The truck had gone through a state safety inspection and had failed for inadequate brakes, and the truck driver went back out on the road. The driver of the truck, to my knowledge, was ticketed for inadequate brakes.
I think the proliferation of dash cam footage and body cams overall, while they can show the dirty side of human nature, they also, that specific one shows the best side. All those people that didn't know each other came in and saved that lady from a burning car. So I think that gives us all a little hope.
You know, I'm heartened by the fact that people went to the rescue of the individual trapped in the burning car. But at the same time, we have to make sure that we're not then compounding the problem by putting ourselves at tremendous risk. So, you know, we often don't think about, you know, what we're doing, we just act. And that's a wonderful thing, but at the same time recognize that it could make it that much worse.
Yes, the roads are a very dangerous place. And one way to make them safer surely is to train up the drivers of tomorrow. Because let's face it, looking around at us grown-ups, we're not exactly setting the best example, are we? Check out this prime cut of stupid. Luckily, he's doing it on the quiet streets of London, where there's not much traffic. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? So, road users of the world, when it comes to kids, safety on our streets is the top priority to avoid incidents like this. That's good reactions from the driver there. And don't go thinking they're any safer inside the vehicle either. Don't worry, this little lady escaped with just cuts and bruises, but she was lucky. I thought that was the point of child locks.
It's vitally important that children are properly secured in a vehicle. So Highways England always recommends that you look to ensure the child is put in the correct seat for their age and size, that you ensure that the seat belts are correctly fastened, and you take advantage of other features like the child safety locks on the back doors. This means that they're going to be kept as safe as possible during any incident.
Right, so let's start with the basics. Speed. It's important to go slow, especially in Russia. Here's why. Oh, that was a bit too close for my liking. That car has either got some seriously good brakes, or its driver has some pretty impressive reaction speeds. just look at how close we came to the unthinkable. This, folks, is why you've got to go slow. Children should be seen and not hurt, but that's easier said than done. Look left, look right, cars come in, don't matter, just leg it.
Fucking silly.
That was stupid.
Well, on the plus side, she escaped with her life, and she's learnt some new words. Of course, if scaring them doesn't work, you could try some old-fashioned, at-arm's-length parenting. I assume we're in Russia here, judging by the weather, but you've got to ask yourself, where are Mum and Dad? There's a child staggering about at an icy junction. But don't worry, help is at hand. Doesn't even get out of his car. Hoiks the kid up by his coat. 70s style childcare at its best. Drops it off with mother. And then heads off, undoubtedly, to watch the match. Old school.
Parents really need to encourage their children and teach their children to be active and engaged road users. At a younger age, get them out, get them learning about their environment and learning how to deal with that environment. And then as they get older, they'll be safer.
What these kids need is a school bus, like this one. He's called Balthazar. Balthazar the school bus. Sounds like a kid's story, doesn't it? And there's something you should know about Balthazar. He's the unluckiest school bus in town. Here he is, minding his own business. And Shazam! Poor old Balthazar. He does seem to attract idiots. Like this giant buffoon in a truck, who is about to display a very special manoeuvre called the reach around. Apparently it's all the rage amongst truckers. And there's little Balthazar, right on cue. Oh, poor old Balthazar. Hey, is it just me, or have those aerials got some serious rhythm? Sign them up. Here he is again, trying to traverse a rather snowy street. Oh, Balthazar, I think you're pushing your luck. And I can't help think, perhaps you need some snow chains on those tyres.
That bus did not have no fucking chains on it!
Excuse me, can you mind your language, love? I'm trying to write a kid's book here. Can't have F's and Jeffs in it. Ah, Balthazar. So, we've seen the fretful, the regretful, and the foolishly forgetful. But with 3 million dash cams on the world's roads, there's plenty more where that came from. Join us next time for more from the world's deadliest drivers.